you just tell about how was your day today and how's things going on?
Actually, I had planned that today is a Sunday, so I might get a little bit of time for my family. But in the early morning, 5 o'clock, my two patients got admitted. One with bleeding, and the other also. Both the patients admitted with bleeding. One had a abruption. The other patient has a placenta previa. She also was bleeding, and I had to go for a cesarean for both my patients. Touch with both the babies, both the mothers are fine. And very frankly, I was not expecting that I might be sitting next to you and chatting with all my patients. I had actually dropped the idea. I thought I'll not be able to reach that in time.
Okay.
But
I just want to check with the viewers who are viewing us. I suppose we are quite much audible to all of you. Can someone just give us a thumbs up and tell that we are audible and you can hear us and see us, our beautiful faces on the Mother's Day? Can someone just... Kim, I can see Kim, I can see so many. Nehal, can you just let us know that you can hear us? Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so much. So, ma'am, this is the tough time. I have a set of questions prepared for you. So, my very first question. This is a tough time we all are facing. So, what exactly the precaution a pregnant woman or to be a mom should take in this scenario?
Okay. See, during this COVID times, all the pregnant patients, we are considering them equal to all other patients regarding the infectivity status. It's not that we are going to have more chance of infection. It's not that. It's just that during pregnancy, any infection if you catch, that is goes in a more severe. It can be more dangerous. Any lung infections, any swine flu, any infection, and this all COVID also, we know it's a lung-related disease. So if somebody catches that infection, he will have more chances of getting aggravated, going to the ICU, becoming more sick. So we just have to be the same way like the other patients and have to use all precautions so that we don't get sick and don't catch the infection. Maintain all the measures, but it's not that we should think that we are pregnant, so we are more like we are taking lot care about pregnant the elderly people. So that way, pregnant patients are not prone to more infection of COVID, but they have to take care because they are pregnant.
Because the immunity level, I suppose, there's a little
immunity level is low, so then we have to be very careful and have to increase the body immunity. That's what we do as gynecologists. We keep on telling our patients to increase the body immunity from the first day when they visit us. And in these times, I think we will talk about the immunity level in the next question. But how we have to increase the body immunity, and we have to be very sure that our body immunity is very high, because pregnancy itself is an immunocompromised state.
Okay. Yeah, definitely.
Immunity is on the lower edge.
So, today also you have done the cesarean to babies. So, is it necessary to go for a COVID test before the delivery? And is it there any validity of the period of this test results?
See, this COVID test, we are doing it for patients. And but like my two patients today who came in emergency, we didn't wait for the report. But what we have done is that we have segregated them, kept them separately till the report comes. This is for the safety of the patient, the baby, the hospital and everybody else. So when the report will come by the night or by the evening, then we will send the patient to the normal ward. Till that time, we have created a separate ward for all our patients whose test status is not known. And if we are planning a surgery, elective surgery for the patient, we usually do it 48 hours before. And if it is more than 48 hours, we might need to do it.
So you mean to say the hospital is taking care of the pregnant women and the to-be moms women separately and the COVID patients separately? There is not to be worried about all those things.
We accept everybody can be positive and anybody can be negative. So all the patients which I have delivered today, I have used the PPE. I have taken all precautions. And for the patient also, for the baby also, for the relatives also, we have segregated the wards, segregated the baby, segregated the mother, used all protective equipment. But as soon as the report comes and we know everything is okay, we can shift over them to them.
So the babies are also kept separately or
the reports.
Separately? Okay, till the reports are coming
Till
up.
the reports.
So, is there any chances that the woman who is delivering the baby, if by God forbidden, if they comes positive, so is there the chances for the baby to be a positive too?
We are still in a very early phase of coming up to some conclusion. None of the
Okay.
countries otherwise also have concluded that there is no vertical transmission till now. But new reports are coming up that we have seen that it's there in vaginal fluid, it's there in seminal fluid. Such queries, reports are coming, but they have not yet been proved. So right now we believe there is no vertical transmission. It's just that there can be a chance of infection if the mother is infected and she doesn't use precautions properly from the aerosols that the baby can get.
Okay.
So that is
So-
why we're keeping the babies separately. And breastfeeding is also a controversial issue right now. So depending if the mother is non-symptomatic, we will breastfeed we can breastfeed them, taking all precautions.
Okay.
Even if there is a doubt if the baby is sick, if they think that mother might have contacted COVID, we can, and if the mother herself says, I don't want to pay for this, then we can keep the baby separately till we are sure that
I think no mother want to take the risk actually.
we can repeat her test after 7 to 14 days to confirm that she is positive or not.
Oh. Okay. So there's one I don't know what is it a truth or it's a myth or it's just things which are going around. Is it true that the treatment of viruses can result in premature babies or miscarriages?
Till now, few you can say maybe around the globe, maybe 100 to 1,000 deliveries might have happened. And every country is not yet given their data. They are still, I think, writing the papers. But what came from China, there was 1 or 2 cases which came in preterm labor. So, and few cases from US also, they have said the chances of preterm delivery is a little more. Maybe because the mother, labor is a process. When the mother is in danger or the baby is in danger, the patient goes into labor herself. So it is a protective mechanism. So we are not into a conclusion, but it is said that there are chances that patients go into preterm labor if the mother is more sick. If the mother is asymptomatic, maybe she will not go.
Yeah, because preterm babies are something different. There can be a number of cases that because I have a preemie at my home.
Yeah. Okay.
He's 25th week born.
Oh.
So I understand that the situations differs, but so you mean to say that the virus treatment is not related to the premature deliveries right now?
No.
Okay.
Not concluded it, but there are some
Not concluded.
reports they say there is chances of a preterm delivery which can happen. So if any patient with COVID positive comes to us and we know that there is a chance that she might deliver early.
Okay. So I suppose we have one friend over here who is asking, is COVID safe time to conceive?
Yes, this is a very big question which many
This
of
is very
them
big
are
questions,
asking.
yeah.
So right now, there is no consensus on that you should not conceive. But if there is not an emergency, you should avoid getting pregnant at least for a year or 2 if possible. Because these times, because in COVID, when you know, now you are pregnant. If you have a patient, if any relative in your family gets COVID positive, you will be again in danger. You have to take a lot of precautions. You cannot take care of that person. God forbid, your husband, your parents, anybody staying with you. You have to go to the hospital again and again. So then it becomes a controversy. How will you go to the hospital? Then you will ask your doctor whether should I come, should I not come. So avoiding pregnancy for some time will be good. But many patients of mine are saying, ma'am, this is the time I am at home with my husband. I've got 50, so I should start it right now. So then that it will be your choice. Then I'll say that will be your choice. But officially, theoretically, we should avoid.
And practically also, actually, it's better to why to risk your life and your baby's life?
Yes.
The question is that. So, if mother is on medication, then from the mother's milk, can Can the mother's milk transmit any diseases to the newborn baby?
Not yet proved. It says no.
It says
you
no.
can breastfeed. See, it will depend. Maybe feeding of baby is important. We don't want the baby to get infected because of something else, because of the top feed. That infection we are more. It's like if we talk about a village person who is COVID positive and they don't even have money to buy the milk products. If we are asking them to buy, it's difficult for that person. For them, the best milk is the mother's milk. That will prevent you from baby.
Yeah.
Why to give
from the other infectious diseases?
There we will not expect them. They are not educated enough. They will not maintain proper hygiene. We are thinking about COVID. Maybe we'll have an infection from something else rather than COVID. So why to take a risk? And otherwise, till now it has not been proved in mother's milk is possible. So we can take it.
So, next question I have into two sets of. So there are mothers who are going to be moms, right? And there are moms who have just delivered, like in the morning you have delivered 2 moms. So when you are pregnant, there are so many. Even my mother-in-law, my mother, they all forced me कि बेटा ये भी खा लो, ये भी खा लो, ये भी खा लो, ये भी खा लो, अच्छा है. So and after delivering the baby, so when I was pregnant, my mother-in-law, my mother, everybody was behind me कि बेटा ये भी खा लो, ये भी खा लो, ये भी अच्छा है, ये भी अच्छा है. And we had सब कुछ खाने के लिए था. After I delivered my daughter, she was a cesarean, and my son, who was a premature baby, that time things were a little different. कि ये नहीं खाना इससे, because you are on the breastfeeding, something. It should not affect to the baby's health or something. So what difference of diet plans you can tell to the to-be moms and post pregnancy for the moms?
During COVID, you are asking me?
During COVID itself. Yeah.
During COVID, we have to be, like we already talked, we have to increase the body immunity. So right now, last week, first thing I'll say, take lots of vitamin C. I've been prescribing vitamin C to all my patients. Lemons, oranges, and obviously high fruit diet. You should have more fruits in your diet so that you don't get your body immunity increases. So that is very important. Otherwise, also proteins should be increased in your diet. Nowadays, most of our patients are already overweight. So we don't want them to eat a lot of, like you can say, sweets, a lot of rice. The way, because we are sedentary, and the second, because of COVID, we are not able to go out for walks. So if we keep on eating a high calorie diet, we are going to increase our weight. So we should try to avoid that part.
So is there any prescribed food or something which boosts the immunity system of the pregnant ladies or the moms or new moms?
Prescribed foods will be like high protein diet. If they are vegetarian, like paneer, cheese, rajma, lokya, all the ankurit dalein, they should have lots of meat products, dahi, lassi. And if they are non-vegetarian, they should take eggs. If somebody is just vegan, they can have eggs. Is the best protein source, easiest to cook. Anybody who is a single person also can cook it. So it's very easy. And many of my patients are just vegan. They don't take non-veg, but who are non-vegetarian, they should start taking chicken and fish, because there is a lot of controversy. Many of my patients have stopped eating non-veg, even if they were. Some have become enemy, they have stopped, but it's not that COVID is transmitted from non-veg food. So I don't think that you should avoid this food. You can continue taking non-veg food.
And what lifestyle you will suggest? Because this time, as you said, we can't go, anybody can't go outside for the walk or something. Is doing yoga or something?
Tips, I will say, like somebody, like in a society, they are alone and there is nobody at home, and they are not able to go out in their society, because some societies have restrictions for walking. So what they could do, at least in the house, both the couple can together sit online. There are many of the yoga teachers, many institutions, they are giving coachings also if somebody is pregnant, or at home with a home video. They can start doing simple yoga, a little bit of a walk. If they have a balcony, big balcony, or they have a terrace, they can go down. If the society is allowing them to go to the ground, when there is nobody around, they can little early in the morning or late in the night, they can just take walks, at least minimum 5-10 walks. They should ideally to 10,000 steps should be taken. I cannot expect people to take that much right now, but something they should keep doing. Otherwise, also I know maids are not coming, so people are working a lot. So that is also a type of exercise. If a mother has been given a complete bed rest, in that only thing that they can do is the husband is the best person. Lots of things are going on. We are made for each other, or MAID for each other, or MAD for each other.
Definitely. So in this present situation, there are so many. I mean, like me also, I'm into a nuclear family. No help from anyone.
Yeah.
So if in this situation anybody is pregnant, is it safe? And if they have to come for the hospital for the regular checkup or something, and is it safe to bring kids to the hospital?
Yeah.
If you have
talking
an
about
elder,
the kid who is born or the kid who is at
no. See, if you have, if there's an elder kid also there, and the woman is pregnant with the second child, is it safe to bring the child to the hospital?
The hospitals are not allowing children. None of the hospitals are allowing the children to come inside.
But that would be a tough situation for the parents who are staying alone. They have to leave the kids. They have to arrange.
It is difficult. Otherwise, what my patients are doing, the husband is down in the car with the child. They are not really okay.
Yeah, somebody has to take care for the kids.
Or they
so
can
somebody,
neighbors or somebody they know to just take care of the child.
okay, so somebody has just asked that how long can the third set vaccination can be delayed for 5-month-old baby?
I think vaccinations. I will not be a very good person to take a call on the pediatric doses, but what my knowledge is that you should not delay it more than a month.
Can you just repeat, ma'am? Because
delay any vaccination more than a month.
More than a month. Okay. Yeah. So it's better that within a.
Sorry, I will
within
just.
So it's better to get the vaccination done within a month. When it is. Okay.
But if there is a problem, like people are not able to come, we have a program in which the society or the group of patients, if they want vaccination at their home, so Manipal has a team which can go to their society and give the vaccination.
Oh, that's a really good thing actually, so that the kids.
For management and our GREs, and they will help out, and we can the team can go to their house and give the vaccination.
So, under the situation of the COVID, is it can the investigations or the tests, sonography, regular tests, can it be delayed or something like that?
See, what I would like to put on this is some investigations cannot be done. They cannot be done. But some investigations which are not very important can be done. And then what happens? There are visits. There is the test visit, there is the ultrasound visit, there is the doctor visit. What we can do best is combine all the visits. We can do home collection of the blood test. We can go for the ultrasound and the doctor visit on the same day. So that those things can be combined. Your number of visits can be delayed. If by chance you're not able to meet the doctor, you can always share your investigations with online consultations. We at Manipal are doing online consultations, so the patient can be online, have a video consultation, teleconsultation with us, book an appointment. We will see the reports online and we can advise medicines online. It's only that if you have not visited the doctor class for 2 months, then your abdominal examination is very important. Then you should come.
So you have already answered the next question, because I was about to ask that online consultation is going to helpful for the newborns or for the pregnant ladies or not.
And people are very happy. It's just that in our obstetrics, sometimes we are very busy and we are not to the time sometimes, because we have a delivery or sometimes the receipts, they get delayed a little bit, but it's never that we have never attended our patients. We are doing all our patients and listening to all their queries. And VCs are very good because our medicines are not that it changes every time. Some of the medicines are usually same in patients. And we can also guide them. You can get the investigations done, share the reports with us, and we can advise them.
Okay. So, from the hospital point of view, you mentioned that they are taking up the precaution for the pregnant ladies, for the to be moms who are coming up to the hospital. So, is the same kind of precaution is taken for the kids also, who's the newborns in the NICU, or is it going to be like the mom? What happens that if the child is gets the pneumonia or something? They used to keep the babies in the NICU. In that situation, how mother and kids are going to get accommodated in the hospital? Is there any kind of a
I don't think that there is a difference whether the
Okay.
COVID is there and the COVID is not there. In both the systems, the mother, if the baby is sick, the baby will stay in the mother. If the baby is fine, the baby is already given to the mother. So they are roomed in. We call it rooming in. So the mother and baby stay together in the rooms in which the mother is there. The pediatrician comes for a round, they see the baby. Some babies might have jaundice, some babies might have infection. So the same routine goes, which was going earlier also.
So, but if a premature baby gets delivered and that baby has to be in NICU for some time,
For
so
1 month.
1.5 months, and mother gets discharged. So for mother, there would be no restriction for mother to come and feed the baby for the breastfeeding and all.
Restrictions.
Okay, so the hospital is taking care of that.
So the mothers are coming. Some mothers who are, what happens just after delivery, they are gone. They are a little low on the weaker on the side. So for first 1 week, send the milk. They express the milk and send it to the hospital, and the father or the relative they give to the nurse. But for the rest of the time, so it's
Okay. So
Then they
any
start
other
coming.
tips or so any other tips or advice you want to give to the viewers who are watching us for the on this topic, that how they should take up the pregnancy and the childbirth?
See, the first tip is that who have not yet conceived, they should wait for some time. Who have already conceived, then they should continue and meet the doctor or do the video consultation. First consultation and first should be done video consultation. You can take the advice of the doctor, whatever you do. You can get those investigations done and meet the doctor once. Then as soon as the second trimester starts, 11 weeks, 13 weeks, there's the first nuchal transparency scan and double marker for the malformation. That has not to be missed at all. So that should be done, and then 18 weeks level 2 ultrasound is done. That should be done. After that, the doctor will guide when to come depending on the risk of the pregnancy. If you are okay, so all those who are pregnant should not worry at all. See, one thing I will say, COVID is here for some time. We have to get adjusted to it. We will have medicines for it. We will have precautions for it. So don't worry about it. And we will take all precautions. And we will all get immune to COVID once. So there will be more tests which will be coming, which will be doing. Right now, whatever is available to us, we are doing the best we can for you all, so that you all don't get infected, your babies don't get infected, we also don't get infected, our families don't get infected. So we are taking those precautions.
So there is one question, ma'am. Priyanka is asking, how can a pregnant woman balance their diet when most of the fruits and vegetable vendors are closed? This is a common problem many people are facing.
Maybe in some areas the problem is a little lower, but very frankly, I have not faced this problem in my house. I have been getting all my vegetables. I think they should venture out and check out a little more, or they can ask their society or the area that they should have more vegetable vendors. We have to demand also. If we don't demand, how will we get it? You should talk to their president in the society. They should arrange for your vegetable vendors near your society. So they should and otherwise we know government has not restricted.
Government is not restricted.
You are
fruits and vegetables. And it should be. If somebody is pregnant, the other member of the family can go out and get
online
the
shipping
fruits.
is available. They are delivering it to the society gate. All the fruits and vegetables are available. The thing that you have to take care is how to bring it to your house, how to wash it, and how to keep it safe. So that thing you have to take care. You have to wash your vegetables properly. with soap and water. All COVID will disappear with soap and water. We have vegetable solutions, washing solutions are available. You can buy them, you can wash the vegetables, keep it safe. So I think you should not restrict yourself from buying vegetables. And I don't think that should be a big problem. Just try it out. Sir, do online shopping. Maybe in some areas there is a little bit of restrictions, but then you have other varieties, dal, rajma. Those things will be available at your place. You go out with those things are there. And
so Deepika is saying, so Deepika is saying, ma'am, I have recently heard a good news that COVID positive mom delivered a baby who was normal and no signs of coronavirus. That's normal or just a miracle?
No. We already talked about it. Vertical transmission of the mother to baby is not there.
Not happening. We have already.
Not at all. No pregnant should worry that her baby will get corona because this is a COVID time or she is COVID positive. She should not.
She should not be worried about that because it's not yet proven. It's not have been written right now.
Till now, deliveries it has no proof is there that vertical. None of the I will not say none. Very few limited babies have got infection. They are also researching what can be the cause of that infection. Like I said, after the delivery of the baby, because of some aerosols or because of unhygienic habits, maybe the baby got infected, and not because the mother's blood transmitted the infection.
That was quite an insightful session, actually, ma'am, and I hope the viewers have got quite a wide idea that how they should take care of the to-be moms and the new mommies too. And I feel privileged that I got a chance to speak to the real hero of the nation right now, because you doctors are making it possible for all of us. Thank you so much for joining in, and Happy Mother's Day once again.
Thank you. Happy Mother's Day to all of you. Please don't scared.